Why this Buddha is considered as supreme? Because there are so many teachers, of all these innumerable teachers, why we treat this Buddha Shakyamuni as a supreme? Because supreme, non-supreme is also conventional. Right? Also conventional. Right? So, for somebody, for example, somebody who is so keen on philosophy, somebody who is so keen on philosophy, he or she will keep the picture of, say, Buddha, picture of Descartes, picture of Socrates, and so forth. Somebody who is so keen on football will keep the picture of Messi, Ronaldo, like this. Someone who is so keen on music, dance, and so forth, they will keep a picture of the Michael Jackson. Right? So therefore, who is supreme? Who is supreme is determined by what you are keen on. Right? For those people who are keen on getting freed from samsara altogether, for them, whosoever teaches the path in the most succinct and the accurate way, that is the supreme teacher. Who is that? In the history of humanity, there was one prince who came on this earth, Prince Siddhartha. Right? So therefore, he is the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers pertaining to the liberation, not pertaining to other areas. Pertaining to liberation, he is the supreme. And in what way he is the supreme? Because he taught. What you want is, I want total peace. I want the peace. I want the freedom. I want the total freedom. I don't want this loss of freedom. Pull and push. Involve and pull and push. I don't want this. I want the freedom from this involve and pull and push. Right? And who teaches you this, the loss of any freedom from this involve and pull and push? This Prince Siddhartha. What did he teach? He taught this emptiness experience. In this emptiness experience, that everything, what otherwise would pull and push, all dissolves. All dissolves. When it dissolves, then my mind, there's nothing there which pulls and pushes me, my mind. So my mind finally finds the rest. This is a real rest. This is one which transcends all it transcends the contaminated happiness and all the miseries. That is known as the transcendental happiness. This is the peace. The one who taught this peace, which is freed of elaborations. What elaborations? Elaborations created by the self-grasping ignorance. Because in this experience of emptiness, all what the self-grasping ignorance creates dissolve into this. So, which is freed of elaborations. This is, whoever taught this is the supreme teacher for me, for each of us who seek total liberation from miseries. And who taught this? This is the Buddha Shakyamuni, the consummate Buddha. Consummate Buddha meaning the one who has transcended, the one who has completed the path of having experienced this peace. Okay, this is the understanding. In this, then, so this will give you what is nirvana, what is renunciation. The true understanding of renunciation will come to us on the basis of this stanza. You getting it? Okay. People have a misconception of what renunciation is. And some people, they pity you if you're into Buddhism. Oh, you're into Buddhism now. Right? You're into Buddhism. Oh. Now you cannot eat good food, right? Okay, we are going to picnic. You cannot come, right? Okay, this is how the people get the impression of Buddhism, right? Self-denial. Okay. This is where we are going wrong. This is a misinterpretation of what renunciation is. Renunciation means to renounce good food, renounce good friends, renounce a good house, renounce the cars. This is not connotation. In the first place, how did you come to Buddhism? Right? Did you come to Buddhism saying that I have so much of happiness, I don't know how to get into happiness, please teach me how to get into my happiness? Is this how you come to Buddhism? If this is how you come to Buddhism, then Buddhism will teach you how to get into happiness. But we all came to Buddhism, I have a problem. Please teach me how to get into the problem. Right? So Buddhism, instead of teaching you how to get into a problem, it teaches you how to get into suffering. No, teaches you how to get into happiness. It's a disaster. So because you came there to expecting Buddhism to teach you how to get into a problem. And instead of getting rid of a problem, they add you more problem. Right? This is not Buddhism. So therefore, renunciation is to renounce your miseries, not renounce happiness. Don't forget it. Right? in the process of renouncing miseries, what kind of miseries? You have to identify the miseries well. So the Buddha said, the truth of suffering is to be identified. You're getting it? We have to identify the truth of suffering so well. Then truth of suffering is not just the superficial suffering. It is deeper, deeper, and deeper. You're getting it? Knowing deeper level of the suffering, you will see the deeper level of the happiness. It's amazing. Right? Then you see that what we consider as happiness is actually a form of suffering. Right? And then you are looking for the deeper and deeper level of happiness. So for that matter, what is the deepest level of happiness is the total freedom of your mind. Total freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from the involuntary pull and push. Who created this involuntary pull and push? Self-grasping ignorance. Right? Self-grasping ignorance, it creates all these perceptions created by self-grasping ignorance. Once the perceptions are created, then the self-centered attitude acts on us, right? For example, first somebody has to make this shopping mall, the big shopping mall, right? Once the shopping mall is made, if there is nobody going there, what's the use of the shopping mall, right? Once the shopping mall is created, then a person comes in there, right? I want this, I don't want this, I want this, I don't want this, right? And particularly young children, they're so expert in, say the troubling the parents, right? The parents will look for the cheaper one. The children, they always look for the branded one, right? They will not want the cheaper one. Okay, so the point is that, so this self-centered attitude then starts acting on what is created by the self-grasping ignorance. And of the two, self-grasping, only when the self-grasping and the self-centered attitude, these two combine together, then attachment, aversion, fear, stress, tension, all these things are created as offshoots of these two things. Of the two things, either you cut the self-grasping ignorance or cut the self-centered attitude. And practically speaking, self-grasping, a self-centered attitude will be gotten rid of from the root only if you become a Buddha. Right? Self-centered attitude can be gotten rid of in a manifest state while you are still a Bodhisattva, not necessarily at the time of Buddhahood. But from the root, to cut it from the root, one has to have achieved Buddhahood. So therefore, if you wait till then, right, then the misery will not really come to an end. So either you remove self-centered attitude or self-grasping ignorance. So it is much easier to get rid of the self-grasping ignorance. So you get rid of self-grasping ignorance, then self-centered attitude does not have the place to, pull and push. So this involuntary pull and push stops. You getting it? So just the self-centered attitude is left. That is the manifestation of that left. Without the self-grasping ignorance, that is the symptom of the cognitive obscuration. You getting it? Okay. So this is how we should reflect on the emptiness and see that the renunciation has a connotation of renouncing all the miseries. And finally we see that the real most refined version of understanding of renunciation is aspiring. Renunciation means I aspire to renounce the miseries. I aspire to renounce the miseries, or I aspire to achieve nirvana. These two things. What is nirvana? What is the freedom from miseries? That is the real understanding, the deepest understanding is when you go into the emptiness experience, then all the conventionalities created by the self-grasping ignorance, they all dissolve. Then you are left with nothing, where your mind is going to be involuntary pull and push. All this involuntary pull and push stops. That is total freedom, right? That, in this experience of the emptiness, involuntary pull and push stops. That is the total rest of your mind. That is a total pacification of mind. That is a total peace of your mind. Involuntary pull and push stops. Okay. So this experience is possible only in the spirit of the experience of the emptiness. So aspiring to reach this level, and aspiring to gain a stability of this experience is aspiring to get the stability of this experience is known as the most refined version of renunciation. Otherwise, generally speaking, renounce samsara, renounce say this life. Okay, these things are there. They are not really the most refined version of understanding of the renunciation. Okay, so this is one thing that I'd like to share with you. Okay. Okay, now another thing that I'd like to share with you is, okay, hands are coming up. I know, but refrain. Bear with me for some time, because your hands are coming up. You are not listening to me. Your hands are coming up. Right? Okay, just listen to me for the time being. So we will surely have more time for question and answers. Okay. Another thing that we need to really think of is, after learning about all these sophisticated philosophy, amazing philosophy, so fortunate, on the one hand, very fortunate to really even meet with the teaching on Nagarjuna's text, so fortunate that you're connected with the Dharma Friend of Israel and the chapter 24 of Nagarjuna's text and Acharya Chandrakirti's text and so forth about the stanza, independent origination, there's no ceasing, no rest, no knowledge, no permanence, no coming, no going. All the stanzas are so precious. So finally, we have to take steps. We have to take steps. How much steps that you take? Be very realistic. It is not necessary that today you start and tomorrow you become enlightened, right? This is very unrealistic. As long as we take steps, that's good enough. What steps to take? 2. One which we can actually do. 1. Number 2, in the form of the planning. 2 things. 1 in the form of planning, 1 in the form of what we can actually do. Okay, say, okay, now you know this stanza, right? Ceasing of karmas and afflictions give rise to nirvana. Karmas and afflictions arise from afflictions. No, karmas and afflictions arise from inappropriate attention, which in turn arises from elaboration of self-grasping ignorance. And elaboration of self-grasping ignorance ceases by the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, you know this. On the basis of this, we know the 5 points. 1 is samsara, misery. What's the immediate cause of misery? Contaminated karmas, right? Contaminated karmas, more precisely, which is related to us, is the negative karmas. There's a difference between contaminated karmas and negative karmas, right? Negative karmas. And then negative karmas, there are 10 non-virtuous karmas, right? See how much we can refrain from these 10 non-virtuous karmas. This is the step that we have to take. This is something, once you know this, it is for us to put in practice. If you don't put that into practice, then of course what we've learned about emptiness, dependent origination, the ultimate analysis, conventional analysis, of course that's a tremendous benefit, but from our side, if you don't take steps, and steps, as I said earlier, it may not be drastic steps, right? Take safe steps, right? Take the safe steps. Okay, so see how much we can refrain from the 10 non-virtuous actions. Take some steps, right? Okay, say, some people, they are too much, right? Say, you go into Buddhism, you start to, the attend the Solansis teachings, attend the Floyd Dharma teachings, not Floyd Dharma, the Dharma Friends teachings, right? Okay, and then some people who, who are not so interested in this, okay, you become Buddhist, and Buddhism is compassionate, right? Right? And you're still a very short-tempered person. What's the point of becoming a Buddhist? What's the point of learning of compassion from Buddhism? You're still a very short-tempered person. And so like, today you learn about compassion, tomorrow you become a Buddha, right? This is what people expect. This is too much. So we don't have to, even if people say like this, you don't have to be bothered, right? Your job is that to make sure there's a progress happening. As long as there's a progress happening, this is good enough. You getting it? Don't expect yourself Gade Bodhi Swaha, right? Don't expect Gade Bodhi Swaha. Buddha said gate, gate, parasamgate. Buddha didn't say gate, bodhisattva. So therefore, as long as the progress is happening, what is this? Gate, gate, paragate. This connotes progress. As long as there's a slight progress happening, this is amazing, right? Say after 1 year, you see little progress. After 5 years, you see little more progress. After 10 years, you become a more compassionate person, right? So for example, when you started it, okay, you go to your sink, and in the sink you see so many ants there, or on the road you see so many ants there. Okay, I'm very sorry, I have to attend the Bodhicitta class in the Dhamma friends of Israel. I'm going to have to run. I'm very sorry, I'm late. Adam's going to be late for what? For the Bodhicitta class. And you kill all these animals. This is totally contradictory, right? Real Bodhicitta class is you sit there and make sure that at least from your side you don't kill these animals. This is real Bodhicitta class. Even if you miss the Bodhicitta class there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but if you take care of this, your compassion grows on the spot. Your compassion is growing. You're getting it? Okay. So initially, it may not be happening. After like 2 years, 3 years, then that sensitivity comes to you, right? You see animals, the tiny insects there, right? No, I should not be stepping on them. They also have the feeling, right? I should not be stepping on them. And then see if there's how practical that is, how realistic, be very realistic. If there is a way by which you can protect some of the animals, you protect them, keep them in a safe place. And if this is naturally coming to you after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, this is a mark of the success, right? Likewise, say the initial steps to be taken. See how much you refrain from the 10 non-virtuous actions. 3 physical, 4 verbal, 3 mental. What are the 3 physical? Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Just see how much you can refrain from these, right? It's not that today you, oh yes, tomorrow absolutely clean. Don't expect that. We should be very realistic, right? So, as long as the progress is happening, it's amazing. Growth of progress is amazing, wonderful. And then the four verbal, what are they? Lying, slandering, harsh words, idle gossip. Lying, telling lies. Then the slandering, creating division splits amongst the people who are friends, dividing the people. Harsh words, right? Say to your parents, easily harsh words, right? If you control that, okay. After coming to Kibbutz Leviham for the emptiness meditation, emptiness practice, or the Nagarjunas, and then you go home, and your mother says, "Okay, my daughter, you must be very tired, right? You like to have a couple of," and so day 1, day 2, yes, you are changed. And then you have a little conflict with somebody or at a workplace and so forth. Then you come back home. The mother says, "You like to have a cup of tea." What cup of tea, right? So the poor mother suffers unnecessarily. You cannot say one cup of tea to the difficult person, but you can easily say this to your mother. The poor mother unnecessarily suffers, right? And the poor mother says, "What happened to this girl? To this not only girl, to the boy." Right? What happened to this boy? Went to Yagigan, right? For what? Right? And he or she learned about Nagarjuna. Who's Nagarjuna? Right? Who made this? My daughter, my son became so violent nowadays because of Nagarjuna. Right? So if you don't want to bring embarrassment to Nagarjuna, if you want to give a good impression of Nagarjuna to your parents, say be consistent. Okay, at least I should control my harsh words. Right? The mother says, "My daughter, my son, you have a cup of tea," right? "Oh, mom, no, you said, what tea do you like to have? Cup of juice, cup of tea, coffee, juice, what do you like to have?" Mother will be surprised. Wow. Till today, this never happened. After going to Yarihan, Arya Nagarjuna's retreat, my son has changed, my daughter has changed. Wow, amazing. Arya Nagarjuna must be a very special one. Right? And then she may say, "Oh, I like to have a juice. I like to have a cup of coffee." Then you serve a coffee with a very gentle, otherwise usually like this, Right? Today, very different. Right? Wow, the mother feels so touched. And then, my daughter, my son, what did you learn from heavy hand? We learned about Arjuna's chapter 2. What is chapter 24 like? Right? About emptiness. What is emptiness? Right? So this is how you are helping your mother. Okay. These steps, see how much we can take. We can take these steps. At least this much if you can change. This is so beautiful. Likewise, same thing applies to your husband. Same thing applies to your wife. Same thing applies to your children. Same thing applies to your parents, grandparents. Same thing applies to your friends, a workplace, and so forth. Of course, skillfully. You're getting it? Skillfully. At family, you don't have to worry about the skillfulness. At workplace, you have to worry about the skillfulness. Because at workplace, when you're compassionate, you're more sensitive, compassionate. People may take it wrongly, may see that as a sign of weakness. For that matter, in Buddhism, particularly Mahayana Buddhism, there's a tremendous emphasis on what is known as skillful compassion. Skillful compassion. Not just compassion, skillful compassion. Where you demonstrate compassion, but the people cannot take advantage of your compassion. Right? This is so important. Okay. Okay, so steps to be taken. So the three physical, four verbal we're talking about. The word number one is telling lies. Try your best not to tell lies. Then number two is slandering. Of course, this is so bad. Number three is harsh words. See how to stop it. Starting from your mother, from your parents, from your children and so forth, from your spouse and so forth. Right? And the spouse sometimes is terrible. Once, my friend, gentleman, we met somewhere, and he said, Dorji, today you must come to my house. It's very unusual, you know. He has his wife and the family, and he said, without me being, he's just very casually inviting me. Dorji, today you must come. I said, okay, I want to have the room there. He said, no, Dorji, you must come to my house. Then, because I respect him so much, so I said, okay. Then we went there. And then I reached his house. Then he's pushing me in front of him. So weird. Okay, I went in front of him.
Japanese?
I'm not going to tell where. Okay, right? And then the person's highly respected person, right? My friend. And then the wife was waiting there at the door like this. And the wife, usually very gentle. This time she's doing like this. And I said, hey, good evening. Good evening, Dorji. Good evening. Usually this is not her style. Good evening. But something is wrong. And I went. Then he came, followed me. Then of course I treat him with so much respect. Even how I address him with so much respect. They're words of respect. Right? So I'm not going to tell what that is. I added these words. Suddenly the wife shouted at me saying, Dorji, he does not deserve this word. Then I came to know why he called me. He called me as a shield. Right? If I'm not there, he's going to go away. Right? He's going to die. Right? Okay, what I'm saying is that just be mindful. This is your family. Your husband, your wife, your children, your parents. This is your family. Right? So be kind to your family. Be kind to them. Make the family happy. Misunderstandings, little bit of the conflicts can happen. Misunderstandings can happen, but this is not how we should live. You're getting it? So the point is, be more gentle. Stop the harsh words. Differences can be solved, right? When there's a heated state of the anger, agitation, just remain calm and peaceful, remain like a peaceful word. When the anger, both sides, anger, agitation, irritation subsides, and you can work on the differences in a gentle way, decent way. Okay, so these are the steps that we have to take. One, And then idle gossip, I don't think you have time for idle gossip, because you say you put your very busy schedule. Idle gossip very unlikely. Okay, then the three mental. What are the three mental? What are the three mental? Ill will, covetousness, and wrong view. Ill will, okay, feeling of little, uneasiness with other people, little bit of, say, anger towards others. These things can happen. But deep inside, planning, calculating about, the harming others, so forth. These things must be just eradicated, right? So if something's automatically working inside, planning, calculating how to, think very bad about this person, if that's happening, just the best thing is remain like a piece of wood. This is the advice given by Bodhisattva Shanideva. Remain like a piece of wood and do a little bit of breathing exercise, right? This will distract your mind, breathing exercise, and if possible, you can think about the emptiness, the four seals. Very helpful practice. Okay, so these are some practical points that we need to keep in mind. If you don't take steps, then there's no point. Although your studies are so precious, but if you take steps, they are very precious. They are very precious. What you've been studying, even emptiness, to say that emptiness of objective existence is the objectivity of the object. Even to say this, right? That nothing exists in the face of the utter analysis. Even these words, which are so precious, will make total benefit to you, and total relevance to what you're doing is of incredible benefit. Okay. And finally, what I'd like to share with you is that finally, just see if you agree with me. See if you agree with me. See if you agree with me that the final meaning of a life is number one. Okay, final meaning of a life. Just if you agree with me, 2 points. Final meaning of life is 2 points. One is be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. How many agree with me? We all agree with us. Be kind to yourself. Number 2, be wisely kind to yourself. How many agree with me? Be wisely kind to yourself. Okay, what does it mean by be kind to yourself? Just imagine when you were age 3, 4, 5, 6. Who is the kindest person in your world? Your 2 parents. In what way they are kind? How do you describe? How would you describe them to be kind to you? Because they provide you with whatever you want. They get rid of what you dislike. You agree with me or not? So therefore, how to be kind to yourself is by giving yourself the maximum happiness and get rid of to try your best to get rid of the miseries to the best you can, the fear as much as you can. So this is meaning of be kind to yourself. Number 2, how to do it? Be wisely kind to yourself. How to do it? Okay, in the process of trying to make you happy, right? Okay, I think, say, now it is, say, 2038. 2038 is how many years ago? How many years later? 20 years later, right? After 2038, say maybe the younger ones, Toma, the younger ones, right? They may be aged like 40 something, in 40s, or 38, 39, right? Oh, what? Out of 20 years, right? 38, 39. So there, and then, okay, yes, I remember. So then once in the Yagayan, 20 years ago, somebody came. Who is that? He said, be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Yes, I remember that, right? Nowadays I feel so tired. And I have to go to the little bit of drink to be kind to myself, to wisely kind to myself. And then all the problems arise. So this is being unwisely kind to yourself. This is not the wise way of being kind to yourself. Do those things which actually give rise to happiness, and don't do those things which only attracts misery. This is the idea. Okay, finally, what are those things to be that will attract happiness? What will get rid of all the miseries? Is will attract happiness is unconditional love. As much as possible, practice unconditional love. And unconditional love to